everyone, my name is Catherine. Welcome to episode 32 of the Backstage Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting and my life here in beautiful downtown Hartford, Connecticut, and wherever I choose to travel. Today is Friday, November 24th. It is Black Friday, which here in America is the day after Thanksgiving, and pretty much everyone has off of work except if you work in retail, because then you have to work because it's a big day for shopping and sales. I'm actually meeting my parents at the mall in a couple of hours, so I'm going to record this, go visit with them at the mall, come back, edit, and upload it. Because I have been on a podcast binge watching kick today and hopefully tomorrow and Sunday. So if you are doing that too, it's a great long weekend in America, and maybe you'll add mine to the mix. Wait, well, that's weird to say. I should say that on Instagram and not here because you're clearly watching this already. Anyhoozle, you can find me on Ravelry as Backstage Cat Knits. I'm also on Instagram as Backstage Calf. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast, which I may actually put show notes on this time. It's called Backstage Knits Podcast. So I've been really lazy with show notes the past couple of times I've done it. I really like talking to you guys. What I don't like is editing it, and it's just a lot. Like, it's fun and it's good, and I don't mind doing it because I like having like the title page and little text come up with my usernames and stuff, and so like I like it, but sometimes it's just like, and then to also write show notes and like link everything, and it's just much effort, and there aren't that many people in the group, but I'd love to get started again. So if you'd like to join the group, come introduce yourself, come say hi. Maybe I'll actually have a thread for this week's episode with show notes because I don't have much to talk about. So there we go. All right, I have finished objects. I have two finished objects. The first is one you've seen before. I don't think I talked about the second on my last podcast. So I finished my first brioche project. This is the basic brioche beanie by Marilyn somebody. I want to say Kendricks, but that's not right because there's somebody in my board of directors named Marilyn Kendricks, and that's what I'm thinking of, but that's not her name. I talked about it last time, and I have a project page, and I'll put it in the show notes. So now I have to do show notes, right guys? This is literally the most basic brioche you could get, and I made it an inch shorter than the pattern called for. Because I like my hats pretty tight, and I like a smaller rolled brim. Especially as I was going along, I find you can kind of see it, my wrong side brioche is not as like clean as my right side, and I don't know if, I think what it is it's too much of the white yarn, so like it peeks through. Anyway, it's really cool. I'm really happy with it. Brioche is the best. Like, why haven't I done this before? It's so soft and squishy and easier than I thought to do. I look ridiculous in hats, so I'm taking this off, and now I have hat hair. But whatever, you're gonna deal with it. So, the yarn, because that's the exciting thing. The black is Valley Yarns Northampton in black. It is black. And the colored yarn, let me flip it to the wrong side so you can see it a little better, is Molly Girl Yarns. I forget the name of the base, Rockstar base, which is the worsted base, in the Dance Rascal Dance colorway. And this is actually a black light yarn. I kind of wish I had a black light so I could show y'all. I don't know, I said this last time, I don't really know why I bought it. Because I don't go any place with black lights, but in case I ever do, there we go. I knit this hat in like 4 or 5 days, actually around Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween person, but I felt like I was getting in the spirit with black and these little pops of orange there. Yeah, I really like it. I will never wear it this way. Like I said, it's not as clean, but I've worn it this way a lot, and I'm so sorry about my hair. It is doing crazy things. So yeah, that is that. I'm really happy with how it came out. I will definitely be knitting brioche again, and my next project is to try something crazy that has like pattern now that I have the basic stitch down. I said this last time, I think it's easier to do it with 2 colors, so if you've been hesitating, stop hesitating. It is amazing. I made a couple mistakes, right? Like there, it's a little hard to see. It's better to see in person. You can kind of see that. Here we go. Like these stitches are actually like knit and not like the brioche weird in and out stitch, but whatever. It's a design element in the hat. Honestly, you can't even tell. And it sort of just so happens that like I don't know. That's where it sort of folds naturally, is along those mistake stitches. So you really can't tell. Yeah, love this hat. The pattern, I think I said this last time, the pattern was great. It like had the pattern, but then it also had italics, like describing like what you should be doing, which was super helpful. I watched the Unapologetic Knitters? Not sorry, I don't remember. It's in my show notes. I think I wrote down, maybe, or not my show notes, my project pattern page. So anyway, I will link all those things in the show notes. See, I'm promising show notes to myself, now I have to do it. So highly recommend the pattern if this is your first time doing brioche. It's a quick knit, it's very satisfying, and yeah, that's that. So, brioche hat, donezo. The next project, and these look a little ugly because I wore them, is my pride socks. Oh, look at these. So I had talked about these like way back in a podcast in like May, and I got this yarn at a fiber at Stitches United in April in Hartford, which was awesome. I was so happy I could walk to the yarn and show you guys. So anyway, I got this yarn there, and I love the yarn. I was like, oh, let me make this my pride socks, because June in the US is Pride Month for LGBT rights and pride and things. And so I was like, oh, I'll make these my pride socks. Perfect, I'll knit on them during June and whatever, it'll be great. So I started one sock, I knit these on 9-inch circulars, in the middle of June, like June 10th, when my mom and sister and I went to New York City. And so like I had time on the train, and I was like, oh, let me just knit these socks. So I got, I think I did them top down, so I got like maybe here, right? Sorry, I was trying my podcast standing up today, just because of the way my, it's called a tripod, it's a little bit taller than my old one, and I didn't like it when it was like on the ground. I mean, you can make it really tall. So I'm trying it on my table, but then I felt like I needed to stand up to get more of me in the shot. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. And the next day, I brought them to my friend's house to watch the Tonys, because what else do you do during the Tony Awards besides knit on rainbow socks? And I left them there. And then the rest of the summer I didn't really see her, and then I saw her a couple times in the fall, but it was like always really busy. Like her husband was running for town council and we were doing shows, and it just like didn't work out. Like they were hidden. Her cleaning lady hid them to keep them safe, and long story short, I did not get them until like 3 weeks ago. So they just kind of sat like a cuff of a sock for a really long time. But I finished them. I actually took them on the cruise. I went on a cruise 2 weeks ago, I guess now. And yeah, I finished them. I'm pretty sure I bound them off on the plane ride home. Yeah, I finished that. I finished the second sock on the plane ride home because I did them one at a time. So, or I didn't quite finish them on the plane ride home. That's right. I did an afterthought heel. So I finished the toe, the cuff to the toe on the plane ride home, and then the next day put in the afterthought heel. So the yarn is White Birch Fiber Arts in, I think this is the Rainbow Warrior colorway. I have lost the tag, but it is gorgeous. Like, oh, I'm always just so in awe of people who do self-striping, and like, especially this. Like, just worked out my gauge. I did 68 stitches on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, and it just worked out perfectly that like each row is the number or like each, yeah, in the rainbow sections, there's one row of each color, essentially. For red, there's like maybe two, but, and then it also worked out so perfectly. Like I started, I did the contrasting color is Louette Gems Fingering, and I think this is the Peacock colorway, the blue, and it just worked out perfectly. That, like, I knew I wanted to finish, I was like, alright, I'll start the blue, and then I'll like pick up from where the blue ended and do like the little bit of purple, and then I'll like, oh, after I do one blue round, I'll knit the top, and so like it looks like a nice, pretty purple rainbow. I could have probably done one more repeat. I had plenty of yarn left over, but I like a little bit shorter sock, leg on a sock. So anyway, it's like 5 repeats of the pattern essentially, and it just worked out perfectly that where my toe put, I could put it in the blue. So like the transition on the heel is perfect. Oh, I'm so happy with these socks. I'm gonna wear them all the time. And I really like the Afterthought heel. When I first knit it, I didn't really use a pattern. I watched Kirby Ruby Yarn's video and just kind of decreased like I was decreasing a toe. Her video didn't really fully explain, or could have been that I didn't fully watch it. When I first knit it, I was like, oh, I didn't knit it deep enough. So I might tinker with it. I've heard Susan B. Anderson has a good pattern on Ravelry about Afterthought heels, which I might buy, just to see, like, I've heard there's other ways to do the decreases, because the fit was better. I've heard I always get pulling on my instep, so I've heard you can knit more rounds to help with that. So I'm going to tinker with the Afterthought heel because I really, really liked it, especially for self-striping, because you have a nice, pretty stripe on the front of your sock, and it doesn't break it up. Not that I've knit socks that break up and I don't care, but to me it's more aesthetically pleasing this way. So, whoop-de-doodle. Yeah. I entitled these on my project page, I might be late, but I'm still proud because it took me a long time to knit these socks. But not really. I mean, I finished them on the cruise in like 2 days, but just the knitting and the leaving and the friend's house and the, yeah. Alright, works in progress. I like standing up. I feel like, I don't know, I'm calmer? We'll see. Alright, so, neither of these you've seen before. Where do I want to start? So, actually you've sort of seen one, so I'll start there. I'm wearing my Waiting for Rain shawl today, which I finished over a year ago. I think I finished last March, or no, yeah, I think March 2016 I finished this, or April maybe, but yeah, Waiting for Rain. And a few people in my knitting group in Glastonbury said, hey, I want to knit the shawl. They'd been meaning to knit it, and so we're doing a little mini knit along. And so actually last Saturday it was great. All 5 of us who were doing the knit along were at knitting group, and so we were like comparing colors, and one person was like, is my top too tight? Like she had been slipping a stitch and it kind of curled, and we were helping one of the members out with a knit yarn over knit because she had never done that before. And so yeah, even though I made the pattern before, as you can see, it's one of my, I think I said on my podcast, it's like my all-time favorite thing I've knit. It's just so gorgeous. But I decided to knit it again for the camaraderie and the fun, and I love the pattern. So, I'm knitting this out of Malibu Sock. I'm sorry, no, I keep saying that, and it's not correct. I bought this yarn in California, so I think I showed it off in the last podcast. Malibu, I guess would be Mechita? Are we Spanish? Mechita? It's the single ply yarn, 100% superwash merino. It's probably not going to focus on that because of my face. Stupid face, go away, no one likes you. Come on, focus. Almost, you can sort of see it. Malabrigo Makita. Yeah, whatever. Alright, giving up on that. In the Cereza, which is colorway 33, Cereza means cherry, in Spanish, and it is this gorgeous tonal, like, I almost call it like a blood red, obviously, you know, so, yeah, I've been really into, I like fancy colors, but I've been really into, like, a shawl kick of, like, solids color. Not solid because I like tonals better, but, like, not super variegated shawls. Especially if I get this job that I applied for, it's a little more higher level, so need to be a little more polished. I really like wearing shawls at work, but it's hard to be like, here's my neon orange shawl in my office job. So, a nice solid color shawl is just right for it. So I had not shown this off before, but I am knitting on it. I'm just about to start the second lace section. So let me actually show you, well, the pattern here. It's by, the username is Sylvia Bobilvia, the username is Soft Sweater. It's Sylvia something. I had it in my head and I don't anymore, but here is this gorgeous pattern. I love this pattern so much. And see, it looks so nice in a solid color. And last time I did it, it might be a little hard to see when it's on my neck, but this is actually striped. Let me take it off and show y'all again if you hadn't seen it. So this is actually striped. So I was able to do it so the lace inserts were in just the solid pink, because I like lace in solid colors. And then the yarn worked out, I didn't buy them together, but it just worked out so well that you could almost not tell. Oh, shut up. You can almost not tell that, like, it's not just one color, except for, like, maybe down here, you can kind of see it's a little more pink. I think, like, up here there's a couple sections of 2 or 3 rows of pink, so it looks really, really good. I love this so much. Oh, I forgot how much I love this, seeing it out again. Oh, so pretty. Okay, anyway, stop admiring your previous shawl, talk about the one you're working on now, Catherine. So, I'm just about to start the second lace insert. So here's my first one. I forgot how big this shawl gets. I went up a cable size. I think this is my 47 cable, and it's still not long enough, but you'll just have to, this is kind of shawl that doesn't look good until you take it off the needles. Actually, technically, I guess it's this way, that this is the top of the shawl. But yeah, oh, I love this pattern so much. Look at this adorable stitch marker, and I'll have more to show off in my acquisition section. But it's grilled cheese. Oh, look at it. Okay, stop it, face. Seriously, nobody likes you. Look at that super cute grilled cheese stitch marker, which it will not focus on. Boop, 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 boop. Alright. Maybe I'll take photos of these, my stitch markers that I got, and put them in the video when I talk about all of them, because focusing is the devil. No, just kidding. It's just really annoying. Okay, so anyway, I love this shawl. I started this on the Thursday, I think I came back. I haven't put in as much work as I'd like to because I'm really busy, because I'm stage managing a show and we have rehearsal like every night, and I've also had board meetings and travel agent meetings and all sorts of nonsense. But it is moving along nicely. My goal is to finish it for Christmas, so I can wear this nice, beautiful red shawl, black sweater and jeans on Christmas Day. That's the plan. I think it's doable. I knit this last time in like a month, and Christmas is a month from tomorrow. God, how did that happen? But I feel like, considering I'm on the second of 4 lace sections, right? I feel like it's doable. I have one other work in progress that I want to show you. I brought a lot of knitting on the cruise, which I worked on everything I brought. I brought 3 projects. I brought the socks, finished those. I brought this hat you'll see, and then I brought a shawl, which I'm not going to bother showing because it looks kind of the same. It's the Dancing by Justina Lorokoska. I got like 2 or 3 inches done on it, and I love the pattern, but it's very similar. It's just slightly bigger than it looked last time. So I'll show it off maybe in a while when I finish it or whatever. It's just sort of something to work on. I'm glad I brought it because I packed the night before and I was idiotic and realized I forgot needles. So then we had to go to Joann's to get needles, and then they're not very good needles, and so I don't know about this hat. This might get frogged and restarted because I really, really like it. Did I talk about it last time? I don't even remember. This pattern is Rose Window by Jolene Vritanar. It is a free pattern from Knitty. You can get access to it from Ravelry, but it's not a Ravelry download, it's on Knitty. So it's inspired by like stained glass windows. And so I decided I would knit this out of kind of the closest thing to black yarn I had. I considered a gray, but I really like the deep gray I have in my Danzig, but it was in my Danzig and I want to finish that shawl. I do like it. So these are the two colors I picked. They're not focusing. What else is new? The top yarn is Knit Picks Stroll in the Inverness colorway, and the bottom is a skein I got from Fat Cat Knits. It was now closed, which is sad because look at this colorway, isn't it beautiful? This is a 50 gram skein, and the colorway is called Fairy Ras. And this on my computer is reading just black. It's actually tonal with some navy and a little bit of dark green, as well as the black. So that's kind of the background color, and then the Fairy Ras is the other one. So I'm feeling like this is going to get frogged and started over, even though I kind of put in a lot of a dent. Just with these needles, it's not great. And my color work is always so tight, and we'll see. So I finished the brim, and I think I'm like 4 or 5 rows in on the color work pattern. So I like it. I'm loving how the Fairy Ras knits up in this. It's going to be a beautiful hat, but what I might try to do is put it on my interchangeable needles so I can knit it in the round. These are too big to knit in the round. I had to do it magic loop, but then they're not really big enough for magic loop. These are the only needles they had at Michael's or Joann's. The joins are crummy. So here's the thing that annoys me. Like, I'm all for, obviously Michael's and Joann's need to have price affordable needles for people who can't afford them, but just like they're really bad. And that's like, come on, like this one, like look at the join on this one. Well, okay, it's not gonna focus, but like literally this is like ripped, this plastic section. I'm like, you can't even try to, people who don't make as much money should still be able to afford needles that don't tear their yarn. Like, come on, guys. It just really annoys me that, like, obviously, like, if I'm going to pay more for a product, there should be a noticeable difference in the quality, or else what are you paying more for? But, like, it just is so bad, like, kind of unusable, that I'm like, people who can't pay more should still be able to use their needles. It annoys me. Look at this awesome stitch marker I got, though, at Michael's or Joann's or wherever I end up buying the needles. It's a little passport, which I thought was very appropriate. So, you know, I don't really need to have it on there, although I guess now I can move it up to show you where I was. Actually, I had it on there to sort of signify the beginning of the round, I think. Although I don't know why I wasn't just using this stitch. Who knows? Oh, because I think for a while it was, like, on the edge of the needle, so I couldn't use the stitch marker because it was just falling off when we do magic loop. So anyway, I might keep going. I'm realizing this little curliness will probably come out with blocking. Oh, but it looks so good. I don't want to stop. So anyway, highly recommend the pattern. Buy good needles for it. It just makes me so angry now. Didn't realize how angry it would make me until I took it out of the bag. Oy. Alright, acquisition section. Actually, I'm going to pause because my camera starts cutting out at 30 minutes and we're at 25, so quick pause, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Literally just hit stop and record again. Didn't move at all. So anyway, I have a mini acquisition section, but first I'm going to talk about tea. Today, ooh, that's good. I'm drinking Long Life Oolong from David's Tea. It is a peach-scented oolong, which is a blend, and doesn't tell me more about it. Oh, there it is. Ingredients. Oolong tea, apricot, peach, almond, orange peel, safflower petals, natural and artificial flavoring. It's really good. It's light, a little fruity, but not overwhelmingly slow. So, and I really like oolong tea because it doesn't feel as like strongly flavored to me, but it's still caffeinated, which is good. Even though I went to bed at like 9 o'clock last night. All right. Acquisitions. So one thing I've mentioned already is I noticed a void in my life of stitch markers or progress keepers. What happened was last winter I did get your yarn wishes granted and granted a bunch of wishes, and also did the Yarning Advent exchange and put like a stitch marker in every like in each of the weeks, and I kind of like matched them with gift. Anyway, I was not that good with this year's exchange partner. Sorry. Hope I made up for it by including 2 full skeins instead of 1. Anywho, so I bought some more, although I need to buy more because I still don't have as many as I would like. So I found this Etsy shop called Pitter Patter Polymer, which I highly recommend, and now I'm obsessed with these like cute little miniature stitch markers, and I also have an order out with Sucre Miniatures, but the way her shop works is that she like you buy them and then she makes them a couple weeks later because she's just got a lot of back orders or whatever. So the first one, which I talked about already, is this grilled cheese, which I love. Now on my Waiting for Rain shawl, let's stick it up here now I'm thinking about it to show you guys where I was last time, show the progress. Although with any luck, the next time I get around to podcasting, this will probably be done. Like I said, my life is insane right now. So I got these little, 2 sets. So the first is the s'mores set. And like I said, I think I'll take pictures of these because I do not feel like waiting for my camera to focus. So I'll hold them up here and then maybe put, while I'm talking about them, the little photos of them, which means more editing, but whatever. You guys should see these. They're really adorable. So a little marshmallow, they all have eyes, a graham cracker, and a little piece of chocolate. So s'mores set. And God, the detail with those cute little eyes. Oh, and like she painted on the marshmallow, looks like just lightly toasted. You can't see it from here, but man, adorable. And then I also got another set, which is coffee and donuts. So I'm pretending it's tea because I'm coffee, but a little tea and donut stitch marker. My favorite kind of donut, strawberry frosted. And then I got a little rainbow gummy bear, because you always need rainbows and gummy bears in your life. So those are those. Like I said, I'll take a couple photos. Hopefully I've put them there if I have not felt lazy. And then it was Get Your Yarn Wishes granted season, and I granted a bunch of patterns. And so I had just one wish was for, I said, your favorite indie dyer, because I wanted to try something new. And someone IM'd me, or direct messaged me, where did that come from? And said she had a skein for me. I said my favorite color is teal, so she sent me this gorgeous skein of Leading Men Fiber Arts, which I've been meaning to try for a really long time, just haven't gotten around to it. This is the Showstopper base, which is a 75-25 fingering weight, and the colorway is How You Doin'. So just really pretty, like blue and black and white, and this will definitely be socks. It's almost like Carolina Panthers colors. I'm not a Panthers fan. I don't think anyone in my life is, but I guess I'll have Carolina Panthers socks soon. But no, I really like this. Definitely will make a great pair of socks. So yeah, that is it. Like I said, life is crazy. I've said that I think 3 times now. That's how crazy life is. I'm stage managing a show. We open in like 3 weeks. Actually, I think it's 3 weeks from today. We're not ready. We're a little bit ready. It's 4 guys, and so it will come together quickly because you don't have a lot of people to wrangle, but just the scheduling has been really hard to get the 4 of them in the same place at the same time. So, but we're on the home stretch now. If you're in Connecticut, please come see it, December 14th through 16th at the Sacred Heart Hall in Wethersfield, Connecticut. This is our own theater place. This group used to be in Newington, which is another town that borders Hartford, a suburb town, but it was just really hard to get space there, and so we moved to Wethersfield, and we were gonna work with the Parks and Rec department. That didn't really work out, so we're still like our own LLC, but we're now in Wethersfield. The space is good. It's weird. We have it less time, like we can't get into it on Sundays, which makes it really hard when you're trying to do a Thursday show. Like we only get 3 nights in our space with like actually ours for like Tech Week. I think we have Saturday, but we can't like fully set up because, anyway, because the church needs it. Oh, it's not an active, sort of is half an active church. Anyway, so yeah, there's that, and then it's Christmas time, which is always busy, so I have choir and voice lessons, and it's just, and I work a lot. I mean, I work 5 days a week, like I don't work that much, but I work, so yeah, it's busy, but it's good, and I will be very happy when it is the winter, and I love doing shows, but man, it is so much work, and like I always forget it until I'm doing it, and I remember it again, I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? But I love it so much. Anywho, yesterday was Thanksgiving. I had a great time with my family. We had 3 meals. So my parents hosted brunch for my dad's side of the family at their house. And then we went to the Wethersfield Country Club with my mom's side of the family for like our main dinner. It actually worked out really great. No one has to cook, which is actually good. You know, it's a little bit different to have it like with other people, but this is the second year we've done that, and I like it. It's nice to just not have to like, no one's stressing, and I was never really cooking, but no one's really stressing, which is good. And then we went to my aunt and uncle's house on my mom's side for dessert, so like the same of us who were at the country club were there, then like my uncle's uncle-in-law, like my uncle by marriage, not by blood, right? My mom's brother-in-law, his family also came for dessert. So it was a long and full day, but very fun, and I hope that all of you who celebrated American Thanksgiving also had a wonderful day with your families. I think that is it for me. I have been babbling on for a while now, so I hope you have a wonderful day, and wherever you are, you enjoy what you're knitting. See you later!